Masechet Batra Daf Kuf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph, second line. Last thing mentioned was Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch saying that you could decide to give out inheritance to whomever and how much ever you want. Ba'irav, Rabbi has a question. Bivari he'ach. So it makes sense to say that he held that when the person is deathly sick. But what if it works as a healthy? Does it work as a healthy person or not? He come out Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch. Maybe Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch only says that you could give b'shchiv min devar arotehu. He maybe it's referring to only a guy who's dying. He wants to choose who gets what. Look, maybe if he's healthy, it wouldn't work. Maybe Yochanan would hold it even when the guy's healthy, it should work. مثلا مع الليلة مش عارف إذا رفع تجمع being proof. دم الله ربنا تنا ربي ربنا تنا تقول ربي شني تم مش نتهم كده بيحمل بركة. You don't مش not going to بيحمل بركة. تنا مش ناس look at the husband did not write the condition in the ketubah. بنين داخلين دي have الأخ من the male kids that you'll have from me, the sons you'll have with me. إنه يرتون كسر كتبتها. They will inherit the money of the ketubah. يرتون أحوك هندي معهم in addition to whatever else they get from the estate with their brothers. Chayav, he's still chayav to pay it. Shatanai bedinu, because even though he didn't write it down, that condition is considered a Tanai Bedin, and therefore he's chayav to see it. Chayav. So therefore we hold the Rabbi Yochanan Baroka that you are able to be bequeath or give over inheritance disproportionately. The Gemara said, "I'm not a Rabbi said to him, yes, vuntanan. Don't say inherit. The Mishnah should have said they will take instead of they will inherit, and therefore it won't be only Rabbi Yochanan, it'll even fit the Korach HaMim. Then Amar Rabbi Rabbi then said, "Yaldu tahita bi." I was acting like a child. V'hazati benatan bambli. I answered him too quickly. The Kaiman really. Let's talk as follows. When he says that he'll give to the main male kids, it doesn't mean what everything. It means only that he cannot collect from liened property. Isa he's going to if you want to think that will be take it as a gift. How come it won't be taken from liened property? Must be talking about inheritance. So now, who do you know that can give disproportionately? Therefore, we see that even a healthy person can give it. The Gemara says, whether or not you held, take, or inherit, right? Why did there be that whole conversation done? You cannot transfer something that does not come into the world. I feel it mirror, even though the mirror that you can acquire or transfer something that does not exist yet. That only applies to that's something that while that person's still here or the item's still here, like a person. But according to the mayor who the guy is referring to future children, doesn't exist yet, should not work. That must be that Shani also must be over here to want it's a Tanai Bedin, and Tanai Bedin is different whether or not it's a take or inherit. So why do you have to change the why did you think that makes a difference? He says back to Mishum de Kama Pikla Belashun Yerutun. Rabbi Natan told Rabbi that it makes sense according to Yochanan because it said inherit versus take. So therefore, it just sounded like Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch that gives away disproportionately. Where it says, Adam Abraya then said, Lab Mitlahi Amri, I retract as well. The Talmud Mishnah says, Look, Tavlav, the husband did not write that tonight for the wife in the Ketubah, Binan the Kivun, the female kids that you'll have with me. Yeah, I've been to live in my house, Bisanami Hasai, the support for my property, Adle Kahan, go until I get married. Hayav, Yachayav, because you're chayav as well. Right? It's considered a gift. Seemingly, the daughters get a gift and the sons get it as inheritance. Even and whenever you have a case where one person's getting it via inheritance, one person's getting via gift, even according to Chachamim, it works. So we see that even if it's referring to the wife's kids as inheritances, it should still fit with Hachamim. So how can Rabbi had to answer that it would be taking just to avoid saying Chachamim if seemingly it would work regardless? The Gemara says, who says that the son, the father rather, made these condition in Bedin at the same time? Maybe he said that he did two different courts. Gemara says, and therefore it'd be separate. The Gemara says, let's say that you can't, don't think that. The Tan Reisha, because the Mishnah earlier said, "Ziz midrash drash Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah," the following was taught. Lefnei hachamim bekirim yavne, by kirim yavne, habenim yirshu v'habanot yizono. It says in the Ketubah that the sons will inherit and the daughters will be supported. Ma banim inin yirshin ela achar mitadavim, just like the sons don't inherit till after the father dies. After not the yizono, ela achar mitadavim, they also don't get supported till after the father passes away. It makes sense to say that's one court. That's why you can compare one condition to the next. That both were talking about after the father's death. If you're saying that maybe it's two different bedins, and therefore it's not a proof for anything. The Gemara then says, Hey, how would you learn from one from the other? It must be that they were from the same court. Gemara says, Malai, who says? Maybe it will be. Not two separate courts. And it's not a question that it's two separate decrees because the second bedin can make a decree similar to the first one because they don't want to and it makes sense because one bedin doesn't want to undo or contradict the first bedin. Okay. Marvi Damashmuel. Someone writes it in his will that he wants to give all his possessions to his wife. He's not making her the actual owner, but rather he's making her the administrator so that the kids honor her. Now, the Pshita ben obvious if it's giving it to his oldest son. Lo asla lepatrosi, he also makes him a administrator as well, so that they honor the oldest son. What if you give it to the youngest son? It's Marav Hanila Baradi Mashmul. I feel Binokatana Mutabil Arisa. Even if the recipient of all his possessions was a baby in a crib, also considered administrator. The person Pshita Binoba Acher. Obviously, that if it was versus a let's say a person and a child, a neighbor and a child. Or so if he says I'm giving everything to one person, if it's either his son or a neighbor, for example, another person, or the person who's not part of the family will get it as a gift, and the son will become the administrator. Let's say if the recipient was his engaged woman or his divorced wife, she receives it as a gift as well, because also there's no reason for him to give it to her or make her an administrator. It must be that he's trying to give it to her. That's the question. Let's say they say that the daughter should get it even though he has sons. Or the wife should get it even though the guy has brothers. Or the wife gets it when there are sons from the husband from a previous marriage. Is that a gift or just become in charge administrator? In all these cases, that person does not get the money. The bottom for the cases of the ex or engaged wife. If everybody acquires it, except for the case where the recipient was the wife where he has brothers, or in the case where there are other sons from the husband from previous marriage. In those cases, it must be an administrator. We'll stop here.